Hello, welcome to the Rio Gaming Nexus YouTube channel. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.
Marvel Zombies. Part 7: The Fear That Burns. The Benator descended through Earth's atmosphere like a falling tear. Below them, the primordial green of a swamp sprawled across the Florida Peninsula, a world away from the cold, clean vacuum of space. Peter guided the ship through the humid air, the scent of wet earth and decay filling the cockpit's recyclers, a smell he hadn't experienced. Since he was a child, it smelled like a grave. Sensors are going haywire, Rocket reported, his fingers flying across his console. There's weird energy readings all over this mudball, but there's a focal point a few clicks north. It's loud, energetically speaking. That's our spot, Peter said, setting the ship down in a clearing of murky water and cypress trees draped in Spanish moss. The moment the ramp lowered, the heat hit them. It was a thick, oppressive blanket, alive with the drone of insects. They stepped out, weapons raised, into a world that felt ancient and hostile. Every ripple in the dark water, every shadow between the twisted trees, felt like a threat. So we're looking for a swamp monster that's also a door, Rocket summarized, his nose twitching. Got it, simple. They found it an hour later, or rather it found them. They stumbled into a small, unnaturally quiet clearing where the water was a bizarre, glowing emerald. In its center stood a hulking figure of mud and vegetation, its form vaguely humanoid. Two burning red points of light served as its eyes, and it had no mouth, no face, only a shambling, silent presence. It didn't move towards them. It simply was. "That's him," Peter whispered. "Man-thing." As they stared, the creature's red eyes seemed to intensify. Peter felt a wave of pure, undiluted terror wash over him, not just his own, but a reflection of it. He saw Gamora swallowed by the Horde. He saw Drax's final stand. He felt the agony of Groot's sacrifice. The fear was so potent it almost brought him to his knees. Beside him, Rocket let out a choked gasp, his own grief and terror mirrored back at him. "Whatever knows fear," Peter stammered, remembering the old Earth legends, the Watcher's warning suddenly making a horrifying kind of sense. Burns at the Man-Thing's touch. This wasn't a guardian they could reason with. It was a cosmic immune response, a catalyst that reacted to emotion. The Watcher's message clicked into place. It is not a path, it is the path. "Quill," Rocket said, his voice trembling as he stared at the creature. "It's a crucible. We don't go around it. We don't make it open a door. We have to go through it. It's going to burn us away." Before the weight of that realization could fully settle, the air tore open. A localized wormhole, jagged and violent, ripped through the sky above the clearing. From it shot a familiar figure of crimson and gold, its arc reactor a sickly, dead green. Iron Ghoul landed with a crash that sent mud and swamp water flying. His helmet retracted, revealing the gaunt, zombified face of Tony Stark, his eyes burning with a cold, dead hunger. "I knew you'd run," the Ghoul rasped, his voice a dry crackle. "But you can't hide from the end. We can smell your pathetic hope across dimensions, and the main course is right behind me." Behind him, the Terran reality widened. Through it, they could see the void, and from that void, the Horde was spilling out. The zombified forms of heroes and villains, a tidal wave of cosmic death, began to pour into the swamp. This was it, the end of the line. They were out of time, out of options, and outgunned 1,000,000 to 1. Peter looked at Rocket in the raccoon's terrified eyes. He saw the reflection of his own fear, but he also saw the fierce, stubborn loyalty of his last remaining family. They had come this far, they had lost everything, but they could still choose how it ended. "It was an honor, Rocket," Peter said, his voice surprisingly steady. Rocket just nodded, a grim acceptance on his face. "Let's go out with a bang." They didn't run from Iron Ghoul. They turned their backs on the approaching apocalypse and sprinted towards the Man-Thing. "For the Guardians," Peter yelled, grabbing Rocket's shoulder. Iron Ghoul lunged, his repulsor whining as it charged. No. They hit the Man-Thing at a full run. The moment they made contact, the universe dissolved into searing emerald fire. It was a pain beyond physical sensation. It was the raw, concentrated agony of every loss, every failure, every moment of despair they had ever felt, amplified a billion times and turned into a purifying flame. Peter felt his grief for his mother, for Yondu, for Gamora, burn through his very soul. Rocket felt the loss of Groot, the loneliness of his creation, ignite his being. From the outside, there was only a silent, blinding flash of green light. The energy exploded outward from the Man-Thing, a shockwave of pure life and creation. Iron Ghoul and the first wave of the zombie horde were caught in the blast. They didn't scream. They simply ceased to be, their corrupted forms unmade, their hunger erased from existence. When the light faded, the clearing was empty. The Terran reality had been sealed shut. The water no longer glowed. The Man-Thing was gone, and so were Peter Quill and Rocket Raccoon. They were not dead, not exactly. They had been burned away, reduced to their most essential elements, a spark of courage and a will of unbreakable defiance. They were remade in the emerald fire of the Nexus, becoming not a weapon, but a message, a final, desperate warning sent across all of reality, racing ahead of the hunger, destined to find its way to the one place the Horde could finally be stopped. On a throne at the end of time, a lone figure felt the echo of their sacrifice. He looked up, his gaze piercing the veil of universes, and for the first time in millennia, Galactus, the devourer of worlds, knew fear, and he knew his true purpose was at hand. The Guardians were gone, but their last gambit had just begun. I hope you enjoyed this story video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay safe out there.